Okay, it looks like we're coming up here. I think we are live. Give me just a moment to make sure all the pieces are in place. Yep. Looks like we are. Okay, just got one more screen to fix. Too many screens here open. There we go. Okay, now I'm in sync. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the July Metaphysical Chat. Delighted to have you here. Hopefully a few more people will show up. Tonight, it's anything metaphysical that you want to ask about, whether it be the recent meditation that I just uploaded from Metatron that was a really crazy journey to a planet that had evolved cats who walked upright and wore suits, or whether it's the July message from Metatron. If you have questions about that or anything else, just let me have it. I see that Alyssa's got a question here. Harry's mom, Laura, awesome to see you guys here. Okay, and I will get to your question in just a moment. Alyssa, I just want to let a few more people show up. So you guys, if you've got any questions at all, pop them into chat for me. Looks like we have 7 people here. All right. If you guys can hit the thumbs up button, that would be really great. Is the sound okay? Somebody told me on one of my recent videos the sound was not so great. So I want to be sure you can hear me loud and clear. Hello, Colleen. We'll get to your question in just a moment. Thank you, Laura. Sounds great. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Okay. So how's everybody doing with July? You getting through okay? Are you running into snags? I just heard today that Pluto is making its return right now, and it's going retrograde at the same time. So this week, that is happening. Like, I think it started today. It's going to be going on for a little while. I'm not an astrology person at all. I just heard that and I was like, oh, okay. So that's going to add to all the interesting other things that Metatron was talking about for this month, because it's going to be a doozy. Hey, Joanne, great to see you. Jermaine, Ella, Stacy. Thanks, you guys, for being here. Thanks for letting me know about the sound, Mary. Appreciate that. Awesome. All right, well, we're almost 3 minutes in, so let me tackle Alyssa's question. Alyssa asked, are different races of aliens more aligned with some regions of the world and populations, ethnic groups than others? That's a great question. Let's see what they have to say. So for Alyssa, are different alien groups aligned with different regions of the Earth? I get a no on that, Alyssa, and what's coming through is that their interest is on a planetary basis rather than any one particular group, because their whole interest is partly making sure that we're not going to blow up the world, but also helping us to evolve. So that does seem like some would be more drawn to other parts. But what we have to realize is that when we reincarnate, we can go to all different kinds of ethnic groups than we might have ever been before. So there's a mixture, right? We might have been at quite a number of those. So it's not like there's favoritism for one group over another, because we have been from those other planets and then from all those other ethnic groups. So we've got quite a diversity just in our own self. So I suppose that's probably the reason. But yeah, they're not playing favorites in that respect. Let me know if that answers your question, Alyssa. Colleen says, I saw a tall woman lying on a slab in a little pyramid and wondered if you can tell me who she was. Great question. Okay, so for Colleen, can you tell us about this tall woman in the pyramid? Who was this woman? I'm getting that it was Isis. Colleen, does that make sense to you? Are you someone who follows Isis or knows anything about her? Is there a message from Isis for Colleen or for others? Is there a message she wants to share? Yeah, she's got a message. Okay, so what is it that Isis would like to share with us? Give me just a moment to get into her energy and we'll see what comes through. Beloved beings, it is good to be with you. Sending you much love over the waves of time. Interesting. Okay, what else do you want to say? You're sending us love, and what else? I feel an energy of a little bit of worry, concern from her. So she has stepped up her involvement with Earth right now to also facilitate this great shift. So where in the past she would have been less involved, more observing from a distance, she has brought herself more to the forefront. She is working with Gaia to facilitate, as well as with all of the alien groups that are here. So wherever she can fill in, she's kind of an overseer in that respect, and then adding her energy, her wisdom, her insight where she can. Well, that's pretty cool. Thanks for asking that question, Colleen. Let me know if there's more that you want to know about that. Joanne, long time no see, trusting all is well. Yeah, things are going well. I've got my granddaughter for the whole 2 months of the summer, so we're having a blast. We were out hiking today, enjoying the weather, and we were abundantly blessed by raspberries and blueberries wild growing along the path, so that added to the fun for us. So yeah, things are well. I hope things are well with you too. I heard you went through a big outage of your internet this week, or maybe it was last week, Joanne. I don't know if that's all back now. I guess it's back because Laura's also from Canada. Yeah, I heard a few people talk about that, and you know, how unusual and kind of devastating it was, since we all rely on the internet. AD, can you give some information about mythological real beings like Thoth? Thank you. Okay, so for AD, is there something you would like to share about the mythological beings like Thoth? Well, Thoth is saying in no uncertain terms, not a mythological being, a real being, did exist. The stories are somewhat, convoluted through time. They're not 100% true, but the overall picture of what Thoth was about and still continues to be involved with the earth, that's all there and still going on. So is there anything that you would like to share with us, Thoth? Yeah, so he's rubbing elbows with Isis. It's really interesting that you brought that up now, connecting with the Isis appearance. So is there anything specific that you would like to share with us? He's kind of grumpy. I don't know if we're bothering him at an inopportune time or what, but he's got this really grumpy kind of curmudgeonly energy. And he says, nothing personal, just busy. Okay, so we'll let you go do your stuff. And let me know, AD, if that helps or if you've got more of a question. Hey, Susan, you looked for the chat in the wrong place. Well, I'm glad you found it. So happy to have you here. Hope you're feeling better. AD says, my name is Anne. Thank you. I will try to remember that. Harry's mom, at the end of the month, Uranus joins Mars and the North Node, and that will probably bring violence. Yeah, I've heard similar from some of the psychics that we both follow, Harry's mom, and I have to take their word for it because I don't know, but they've been talking for quite a while about something really proactive and probably not very pleasant happening. And from what Metatron said in the July forecast, it's more of the same. It's going to be a turbulent month. That was the word, was the turbulence to watch out for. So it's all of us needing to be on our toes, being in the flow as much as we can, but don't give in to fear. Know that you have everything you need to get through this successfully. So don't let fear hamstring you and hold you back. Because now, as more of the light workers step forward, not giving into fear this time around, because we have so many times before, now we are really stepping forward into our power, knowing that we're ready for this. And we want to bring it forward. We want to go through to the other side. So as much as we can, that's the energy. And, if you slip into fear, then you just lean on your angels, you lean on the other light workers for support, and come through it as best you can. Be kind to yourself because it is going to be challenging, but we can all do this. That's why we're here. Like this channel, sharing this information, like so many other channels, sharing the information because we need to get it out there to as many people as possible, said in as many ways as possible, so it will reach the largest number of people. and we can all shift into this together faster and with less struggle and strain. Laura says, I love your question, Alyssa. Yeah, it was really cool. Susan, it's interesting regarding the exact Pluto return coinciding with the January 6th committee hearings tomorrow. Yeah, you think that's a coincidence? I don't think so. It's really fascinating how these things are coming together. And of course, I've heard a number of the tarot readers talking about seeing things shifting. And I think Andre has talked about, the astrology guy, he's talked about that silver lining cloud that, a certain ex-president's been riding for most of his life is coming to an end at the end of July. So that's going to presumably cause a really big shift. So things are really going to get shaken up. It's like we're in a snow globe and man, they're shaking the heck out of it and everything's topsy-turvy. But then after that, it should start settling in. And does Sekhmet have anything to say to you that maybe you're not getting? Okay. Sekhmet for Anne. Is there anything Sekhmet would like to share with Anne? Oh, I feel a real warmth coming towards you, and it's kind of a liquidy warmth. It's coming up from the solar plexus, up through your esophagus, and it's coming out of your mouth. So it's coming up through the throat chakra. It's running out of your mouth. It's this really warm liquid. It's kind of like the wine. So it feels kind of ceremonial, Anne. I don't know if that means something to you, but that's what I'm getting. It feels like some kind of an affirmation for you. So is there anything else you'd like to say about that to give us clarity? It's an offering, Anne. It's an offering to you, letting you know about the connection coming from deep inside. So it's more meaningful because it's coming from the inside out rather than the outside in. I don't know what that really means, but hopefully you do. So let me know. Colleen, nothing about her you thought she was dead. The lady on the slab you thought was dead. Okay. No, so it was Isis reaching out to you for whatever reason. So I don't know. Maybe you haven't connected with her in the past and she's wanting to connect with you now. So let me ask that question. So Isis showing up for Colleen, is that because she wants to make the connection now? Yeah. So Colleen, in your meditations, you might reach out to Isis and just see what she's got to say to you. Let me ask one more question about that. Is there a past life connection between Colleen and Isis? Is that the reason? Yes. So it's what I'm seeing is you many lifetimes ago as a priestess in one of her temples. So you were one of the high priestesses. You were highly valued. You were of great service to Isis. So now in this lifetime, as you in your light worker position are stepping forward into this great shift, Isis is coming forward now to help you as you helped her in the past. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Taking care of you, being with you, guiding you through the turbulence that's coming. That's pretty cool, Colleen. Let us know how that goes. Harry's mom, what is most helpful when learning to do automatic writing? Sitting at the same hour each day, meditating beforehand, or something else? So for Harry's mom, what is the best guidance you can give her for successful automatic writing? They're saying it's up to you if you want to do it at the same time every day. If you're one of these people who benefits from ritual, then do that. Do what feels best to you. But here's the thing to understand. When you sit down to do it, and there you are, you're holding your pen, and you're holding that pen, you're waiting for something to come out. It doesn't work that way, Harry's mom. You need to start your hand moving. And maybe you are, but if you're not, I'm going to reinforce it for you. So you start your pen moving, even if it's just circles, shapes, gibberish, doesn't matter. But then any thought that pops into your head, even if you know for sure it's your ego and not spirit, write it down anyway. Because what you're doing is you're priming the pump. You're getting the energy flowing. So you can ignore all the gibberish that comes before you actually start channeling the message. This is just to get the energy flowing. So let me know if that's helpful or if I need to ask more for you. Joanne, you're good. Yes, the Rogers Network took out a few things on Friday, phones, debit. but it's all good now. Oh, awesome. Yeah, for sure. Thumbs up. Because I know when we have these power outages, and they happen here up on the mountain, it's just, it's devastating sometimes because you've got so much going on. And, you know, then it's a matter of you've got to pick everything up and move to the library or, you know, somewhere, wherever, to get a signal just to keep things going. It's part of our lives these days. We can't really do without it. And you think they're real, but did they really exist as pictured with an ibis head? Okay, I'm losing it now. And you think they're, but what was it that was real? I'm sorry, because I've gone past it now, so I'm missing what it was. That was Sekhmet you were talking to. Are you asking if Sekhmet had an ibis head? Let me see. Sekhmet, do you wear the ibis head? Yes. Oh, and he, she, they are saying that that's not to be taken literally, Anne. It's more an energetic representation. And it was designed that way to capture the imaginations of the people because they were simple people back then. Yes, they were studied in some things, but in terms of this side of the metaphysical view of things, they were simple. So that representation got their attention, helped to kind of bring them in, mesmerize them a little bit to help them get moving forward together with these teachings. Had it been something that just looked like a human head, then the people probably would not have responded in the same way. So let me know if that makes sense. And I'll try to remember what you were talking about. Hey, Warrior Girl, glad to see you. Oh, now it just jumped. Hang on. Where did you go? There you are. T-Barb, hey, great to see you. Oh, and now Warrior Girl wants to know, does Toth have a message for you? Okay, so for Warrior Girl, Toth, is there anything you'd like to share with Warrior Girl today? He's still grumbly and grouchy. I don't know what his problem is. Oh, it's the energy. He's saying it's this energy. It's really getting on his last nerve. So it's amped up for them too. How cool is that? It's not just us that feel it. They're feeling it too. So the energy is just making him feel a little out of sorts. So is there anything you'd like to share with Colleen? I'm sorry, with Warrior Girl. Got to keep my name straight here. Toth for Warrior Girl. Hey, babe, it's good to see you. So you must have been talking to Toth before because it feels like he knows you, like you've had previous dialogues. What else would you like to share? Keep your chin up. You're doing fine. Keep moving forward. Yeah, it's going to be tough for a little while now, but no, I've got your back. You're not alone. I'll help out as much as I can. And I'll bring reinforcements. Oh yeah, bring in reinforcements. There you go. Anything else you want to share with Warrior Girl? Remember, you are a warrior. Know it, trust it, believe it. Lean on it. Have confidence in yourself. When that little voice of self-doubt, which is your ego, creeps in, wave at it. Say, hey, how you doing? You can go sit down now because we've got this. Don't let ego get in your way. And then don't recriminate yourself in those times when you do have that wavering, because everybody does. That's the human experience. None of us are perfect. It's all moving forward into more confidence, more strength, into our gifts and our purpose on this planet. So just know you've got tons of support in the spirit world. They're all backing you up, cheering you on. And now there's like a whole assemblage of them, Warrior Girl. You've got a party going on, all backing you up. So that's pretty cool. Let me know if that helps. Ella, a while ago, you heard somebody call your name, but it came through your throat. Who was it? Oh, that's really cool. So for Ella, was it another being who was speaking through her? Yes, it was. Okay. And can you shed light on who it might have been? Who was this being? I'm getting Jesus, Ella. I don't know if you believe in Jesus, but that's who's claiming it. So what was the purpose of this? Well, number one, to get your attention. Looks like we did that. Yeah. To get your attention. Also for you to feel that energy. I don't know if there was some kind of an energy surge that you felt at the moment that that happened, but this was to get your attention so that more dialogue could come forward. And also, now that you know who it was, to give you the confidence to speak it. Don't hold it back. When it wants to come through you, because you are a channel, let it come through. Record it. And then after you've got it recorded, you get to decide what you do about it. You can use it only for yourself, or you can share it with the world. It's totally up to you what you do with it, but you are a divine channel. In case you didn't know that, Jesus wants you to know that you are a channel. So in that moment when it starts coming through, just flow with it. Allow the message, whatever it is, to come through. Write it down, speak it, videotape it, whatever you're going to do to record it in some fashion, but record it, because these channeled messages are sacred, even if it's only for yourself. And you will want to remember it for the future, because it's like connecting the dots to messages that you're going to get in the future. So if that's the first time that happened for you, Ella, congratulations, your channel is open and working. And if not, then hey, just flow with it, because there's going to be more coming. This is probably going to be happening to lots and lots of light workers as the gifts are expanding, as they're moving forward, calling upon the guides and angels to help them through this turbulent time. So yeah, more of you can expect this to happen if it hasn't already. And when it does happen, just be in gratitude for it. Let them know how much you appreciate that personal touch that they're bringing to you, because not everybody gets that. And if you're getting it, it's something to really be grateful for and express that love and gratitude. Then share it in whatever way you feel led. Colleen, that makes sense. You've also seen 3 different colored dragons. Wow. So I would have a dialogue with those dragons, find out what it is that they're bringing to you. Also, I would look up the symbolism of the colors, because there might be something about that, like each dragon has some kind of a aspect about them because of the color that they're trying to communicate. So that's fascinating. You've got to let us know how that works out and where you go with this adventure with your dragons. And I hope you're writing that down, because that's awesome. And you're doing a ceremony with a new Sekhmet statue tonight, connecting with special crystals. Awesome. It's a great time to do it, because I think there's also a new moon. Either it has already happened or it's going to happen soon. So we got the moon, we got the Pluto stuff going on, plus all of the things that Metatron was talking about. So yeah, that energy is crackling, sizzling, powerful right now. So it's perfect. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. Warrior Girl, Alyssa, love your question. Great to start off the live stream. Sorry you missed it. And I'll message for T-Barb. Okay. Warrior Girl, she had one above her head at an ibis for Sekhmet. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You mean Isis had one? Yeah, you'll have to give me more details, because I lose track of it as we move forward on the thread, and I don't always remember the details. So when you do comment on it, if you want me to know or to ask a question about it, give me the detail so that I don't have to wait for you to post again. Jermaine, interesting the Egypt talk. Tutankhamun and his guards came to you a few times. Why are the Egyptian gods and kings prevalent now? Any message for you? Okay, so why all of a sudden are the Egyptian gods and deities, the whole crew, why are they coming forward now? Well, they're saying, you know why, because we want to be part of this grand shift as well. We're lending our energies to it. We're here to support you. You have no idea how big this is. You need all the help you can get. So of course we have a great interest in it, because we were here at the time when things were just beginning. Now we want to be here as you go into this next evolutionary shift. We want to be a part of that. We're riding the cosmic wave of transformation with you. How cool is that? Yeah. So it's almost like they're, you know how in mythology, Sharon takes the boat across the river Styx to transport the souls? It's a feeling like that, except not to the river Styx, but it's like they are here with their energy helping to transport us in our third dimensional experience into the great shift. they are all lending that energy to lift us up, to help us flow through it easier, which brings to mind something I wanted to share with you. Recently, I was doing a reading for somebody who is a parallel starseed. And that means that they came from a parallel reality or dimension or some such thing. We don't know a lot about them because it's not in our universe. It's outside of it somewhere. But in this particular reading, suddenly the information started coming through. So it turns out that it's actually an entirely different universe that's out there. There was a constellation named Artemis that was identified, which was really weird. And they are different. The energy on their planet is different. It's when they move, they don't have the gravity like we do. I saw them and felt them moving like they were on those people movers that you have at the airport, you know, where you're just kind of gliding along. So for them being on Earth is a real challenge because the energy is so different. The gravity is so different. So that was interesting. And that's kind of tying into all these other weird things that are happening. We're learning more, we're expanding, we're being exposed to ideas of different ways of being. So all of that stuff is coming in now that we didn't have access to before, or at least I didn't have access to it before, but it's starting to come now. So that's one of the reasons we want to keep doing this metaphysical chat. Let's keep expanding it, pushing the limits, asking for more clarity to get more so that we can have that greater understanding. Because who knows what little teeny bit of information we get in a gathering like this might be that key that we needed to help with that next step forward. So yeah, everything's being shaken and stirred right now and moving us up. It's like a fizzy drink where you shake it with the lid on and then it sprays all over the place. That's the visual I'm getting. So yeah, we're fizzing and we're getting ready to really expand out of those bottles. I hope that made sense. That was just kind of a rant. Okay, back to Jermaine's question. So that's why. And is there a message for Jermaine? To any of the Egyptians? Any of you have a message for Jermaine? They're making a joke. That's germane to the issue. Ha ha. Okay. So what would you like to share with Jermaine? I feel a very floaty kind of energy, Jermaine. So it's encouraging you to lighten up if you need that. Or if you are already lightened up, then get a little bit lighter. It's like you're levitating. So you're floating. There's no effort to what you're doing in, your daily work or whatever it is you're doing with your purpose. It's more ease and flow. Very, very easy and flowy. It's almost like, those water slides where they're either greased or they've got water on them and you run and they're very slick and you just go gliding. So it's that gliding feeling that they're bringing to you of lightness of being. You're going to need that lightness of being during the trying times that are coming so that you can float above it, not get pulled down into it. And those times, now I'm seeing somebody, reaching up and grabbing the ones who are getting left behind, who haven't ascended yet, who are in that lower energy. They're reaching up and they're trying to pull you down because they want to go too. And they're thinking if they grab onto the tails of your jacket, that you'll pull them through. And it just doesn't work that way. Their energy hasn't arisen to a high enough frequency to go with you. You're going without them. So some are going to be left behind. And I'm not sure why that came up, Jermaine, but apparently that's important for you to know. So let me know if that helps. Harry's mom, have Colleen and I ever shared a past life? Okay. Do you mean, I'm not sure which Colleen you mean. All right. I'm just going to ask it and tell them to use the Colleen that you mean because they know which one you mean. So for Harry's mom, have she and the Colleen she's referring to ever shared a past life? They're saying not yet. This is the first, but there's a resonance there. You have something, there's a similarity. So what is that? There's a DNA connection, Harry's mom. You weren't in the same lifetime, but there's something in the DNA. There's a soul lineage that you're connected to. That's what it is, even though you weren't in the same lifetime. So this is that lifetime to bring it together. That's fascinating. Is there anything else you want to share about that? Yeah, bring it together, work it, baby, use it. Use it in the way that you feel led to use it. It's almost like I'm seeing the two of you joining arms, braced, supporting one another, and then rising up to meet the challenges that are coming. And that could be metaphorical. It doesn't mean that it's literal, but there's that connection. There's that energetic connection. So if you haven't explored it, definitely look into that more. Feel your way through that and see where it takes you. That is really, really cool. Thank you for asking that. So Warrior Girl says to Colleen, the Diamond Children frequency is coming through now and it's exceptional. And they represent the divine feminine. Oh, that's really cool. There's just a lot of powerful energy coming through right now from all over the place. Oh, and Joanne says that the moon energies peak on the 13th. Thank you, Joanne. That's helpful. Yeah. So yeah, there's this huge ball of energy that's just from multiple directions. And yeah, you can almost see it all coming together like it's stirring this big pot, this cauldron of all this powerful energy that's going to expand into something even more powerful. So I don't know. Let's ask this question. Does that mean that this energy is going to lead to some of those climate disasters that Metatron was talking about? Yeah. Yeah. So be on your toes about that. It doesn't mean you go into fear. It just means that you tune into your guides, you be open, watching for the breadcrumbs so that if they're warning you so that you can get out of the way of one of those things, do that. You're going to want to be very, very present during this, at least this short period of time this month. And we'll see what August holds, but at least for the rest of July, be on your toes, watch for those little signs. If you're not sure, go with it anyway. Just, it can't hurt, right? But yeah, there's a lot of mishmash coming our way. So tread lightly. That's probably why all these messages about lifting above the fray, right? So as much as possible, energetically levitate above it all so that you can flow through it and not get dragged down. And maybe that's that part of that vision that I got a minute ago about, I think it was for Jermaine, about the people grabbing and trying to pull down, because there's going to be a lot of devastation for those who are exiting the earth in this time frame. Colleen says they haven't spoken to you yet, but you'll ask. Awesome. Keep doing that. Keep connecting with them in whatever way. And then, come back and let us know how it's going and we'll support you through that. Lisa, is there a message for you? So is there a message you want to share with Lisa? Some metaphysical message you can share with Lisa right now. Being, Lisa, more being, less doing. I feel a lot of frenetic energy around you. Let that go. The things that you're feeling pulled about, torn about, that frenetic energy about, like I must, I should, I have to, let go of all that stuff. Tune into the things that lift you up because you need to be light energetically. Focus on those things. Let all that other stuff go. The must, the shoulds, the have to. Stop doing that to yourself. Let all that go. More flow, more being. Because in that being, you're going to tap into the guidance that is right there waiting to come through. It's so close. But you got to let go of all that frenzy, that fizziness that's keeping you from seeing the messages that are waiting to be picked up like jewels on the beach. So more being, looking for the breadcrumbs. And then when you see the breadcrumbs, take action upon them quickly. That'll be important quickly. And you said Sekhmet was sending you warmth from inside out. Oh, thank you for that reminder. Like an offering. Tonight's ceremony is with a new Sekhmet statue. It's the 11th and you have 11 crystals. Wow, that's powerful. Oh, you'll have to come back and tell us about that. That's exciting. Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense about the offering of the liquid, doesn't it? Okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling anything else coming through about that right now. And so let me know if that's enough. Steph, glad that you could make it. Thanks for being here. The Colleen here in chat. Yeah, but there's two Colleens. That's why I was confused. But maybe you didn't know that, and I know that. So, yeah, that's just me adding in information. It's okay. They knew which Colleen you were talking about. Mary, you tried the pendulum, but it doesn't move. Why? What are you doing wrong? Should you be doing something else to communicate with your guides? So here's the thing about the pendulum, Mary. When you hold it, oops, hang on. Okay. When you hold it, you're holding it lightly so that it can move. And when you start doing it, there's kind of a tendency to want to hold it really tight and hold your arm really stiff so that you're not moving it. But that's not what you want to do because that blocks the energy. So just hold it up very lightly. I mean, you're just like barely touching it, like a fingernail, like hold, right? So you've got it really light and you're just allowing it to move. Now, if it doesn't move on its own, it's okay for you to start swinging it and then just wait and see what it does. Now, if you've not done pendulums before and you don't know what yes and no or maybe looks like with your pendulum, then you can ask it to show you, or you can tell it what you want those to be. For me, because I've used pendulums for so many years, I was taught to program the pendulum. So in the beginning, I programmed my pendulum. After that, I've never programmed a single one because I expect every pendulum I pick up to do the same thing. So for me, this is yes, like nodding your head. Yes, that makes sense, right? And this is no, like nodding your head, no. And if it spins in a circle, that's just either it's a maybe, I don't know at this time, it's the answer is not clear. That's what it is for me. Other people have different things. So you go with what works for you. There's no right or wrong in this. It's just what works for you. So hopefully that will help. But I know for myself in the beginning, the part of the problem was holding it so rigidly that it wasn't able to move. And the funny thing is, when you see me doing this, you might think I'm actually moving it, but it's not. The pendulum is moving my hand. The hand is not moving the pendulum because the energy comes down and then it's connected, if that makes sense. Because people have watched and they've said, well, you're moving it. And no, I'm allowing it to do what it wants to do because I'm seeking the truth. And another tip about pendulums, if you're asking questions that you have an emotional charge about, that you have some connection to, it's going to be really hard to get the truth. So in those cases, I would ask a friend to dowse for me if you're really emotionally connected. When you're learning to dowse, it's better to do it on things that you have no emotional charge with, things that you can verify within a short period of time so that you can build your confidence. Because the big thing about it is when you don't have confidence, then you don't get the correct answers. So everybody, when they start out, will get a mix mash of answers. Some are right, some are wrong. And it only gets better with lots of practice. So if you get it wrong, no big deal. You just keep going, you keep practicing. And over time and confidence, you will start getting it right more often than wrong. But even with a lot of practice, you're still going to get it wrong sometimes. Maybe because you didn't ask the question properly. Sometimes there's, like those old tricks in the stories of the genies, where if you didn't ask the question exactly right, you might get something way different than you expected. The pendulum's kind of that way too. So like during the election in, I think it was 2020, I was asking whether Lindsey Graham was going to, keep his seat or not. And I was asking, would he win? Right? So I'm saying, would he win? And I kept getting no, he was going to lose. But guess what? If there was cheating involved, then I asked the question wrong. So for the future, I would ask the question, will Lindsey Graham be seated as the senator after this election, or something like that? But being seated would mean he got the job, whether he actually got it through the election or if there was, some funny stuff going on. Because I personally think there was funny stuff going on, but I could be wrong about that too. Anyway, that's a wacky side story, but just to give you an example of how you really have to be very precise. For instance, if you were asking, if some woman was testing you and said, how many children do I have? Well, that can take you off on a tangent too, because you want to know how many living children she has, because what if she had miscarriages or abortions? They might count as children, right? So you have to be very specific. Or you could say, how many pregnancies has she had? So hopefully you get the idea about being very specific with your questions. And that's just something you learn over time with lots of practice. So be kind to yourself and have fun with it. It should be a fun tool. Okay, Ella, you have frequent migraines. Is there anything you can do to stop it? And how do you connect to Jesus? So for Ella, what can you tell her about the frequent migraines? Is this something that needs the intervention of the medical community? Yeah. So I don't know if you've been seen by a doctor to see if there's something wrong, but I felt some kind of an energetic thing in your head. So I would get that checked. First of all, you always want to do that before you go and see whether it's, something that's energy that's going on. But I did feel, and it was almost like it was bright white and kind of a flash, but soft edges. I don't really know how to explain it. Almost like an avocado seed, but smaller and glowing white, like a pit. So it could be it's something energetic that will need to be cleared, or it could be that there's something there that needs to be checked out. So I'm not trying to scare you at all, because I don't think that's the whole point of this, but it's letting you know that you probably should get it checked just to be safe. And then how do you connect to Jesus? Well, you've already been doing it. It's just a matter of you go into a relaxed state, start with your deep breathing. If you don't do meditation, then you'll go through it. Probably the fastest way for you to do that, if you haven't already, get my book, The Path to Hearing Your Angels and Guides. It's a 21-day meditation challenge. That book is on Amazon. That will lead you through step by step, because it was channeled from Metatron. It leads you through how to go into those meditations and make that connection. But sans that, it's just time and practice. It's trust, because you hear the voice and then you often think it's your ego, so you dismiss it. And if your intention was to make that connection, then that's what you're hearing. So allow it to come through. But in the beginning, you get just little dribs and drabs. It takes practice and that confidence to allow it to come through. So hopefully that helps. Lisa, does Anubis have a message for you? Okay. Are you guys all hanging out with these Egyptian deities? Is that why you're asking about them? I'm curious. So Lisa, does Anubis have a message for Lisa? I get a yes on that. Okay, so what's the message? What would you like to share with Lisa? Oh, I'm hearing Brahms' lullaby. That's weird, but maybe that's what you need to hear. I'm hearing this very beautiful, soothing, kind of feminine voice singing like a mother figure to you, singing Brahms' lullaby, soothing you, relaxing, helping you to sleep. So I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but that's what came through. Warrior Girl, the first wave was indigo, then crystal, rainbow, and now diamond. And she's asking me to ask Metatron to speak about the diamond kids and their frequency. Okay, so Metatron, is there anything you want to share with us about the diamond children and their frequency? He's making a joke about how they sparkle. Yeah, he likes to make jokes. Okay, so anything seriously that you would like to share about the diamond children? Treasure them. Appreciate them. They bring great love and wisdom into the world. They are precious, just as diamonds, their namesake, are precious. And by the way, just back to the pendulum, when I'm channeling, I just like to have my pendulum swinging, whether I'm asking an answer or not. It's my tool. It's an extension of my arm, and it just helps me make the connection. So in case you were wondering. So the diamond children, what else would you like to share about them? He's saying there's a lot of them here right now. Like, grains of sand on the beach, there's a lot of them. They will be stepping up into the authority that they bring with them as souls. They will become more involved over time But are they old enough to really, really participate in the shift? They're old souls. Physical age doesn't matter. They're old souls. They bring that wisdom, that love, that understanding with them. So know that that's there. And oh, okay, so here it's so if those children are around in your orbit and they're trying to give that input that they're getting intuitively, then don't brush it off. So for the light workers, it's feeling like there's a greater assignment for us here to keep our eyes out for them, to help them step into their knowingness, their intuition, because not all of them have parents who can support them. So that's fascinating. And what else did you ask about them? Their frequency. So the frequency of these diamond children, do they all come in at a 6 or greater frequency? Yeah, so they already have 6-dimensional awareness. That's what that means. But they still have 3rd-dimensional bodies. So is any of their DNA 4th dimensional when they're born? No, they're still being born with 3rd-dimensional. So just like the rest of us, they're going through their DNA being recalibrated, but it's feeling like theirs is going faster just because they have less resistance. They understand more of what's going on. Whether they understand it at the level of the conscious mind, it's not clear. I think some do and some don't. Some of them just understand it more as kind of like in the back of their head and they just flow with it. So they'll be a little slower because they're not leaning into it. They're just kind of going with the flow and allowing it to expand. I hope that makes sense, you guys. Colleen was talking about dragons and their frequency. Okay. And it just jumped. Sorry. Hang on a sec. Got to find you again. There we go. Okay. So Warrior Girl, I'm not sure what you want me to do with that. So if you're just explaining it to me, great. I got it. If you want to ask more about it, then give me another comment because I don't know where to go with that. Phoenix Rising. Hi, sending love from England. Thank you. Accepting and back at you. You're not able to see or hear your guides. What are their names? Where's your soul from? What is your purpose in this life? Does anybody have a message for you? Well, Phoenix Rising, those are all personal questions. So we're doing metaphysical tonight, right? So I can tell you that Phoenix Rising is a starseed. Yeah, I would almost 100% without even asking know that, because if you were not a starseed, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't care, right? So yes, you're a starseed, but those other things I can help you with in a reading. I actually have to go into the records, do the research to pull that information out. So it's not something I do on one of these live streams. But your purpose, let's talk about that, because the purpose for everybody overall, there's an umbrella purpose for all of us, separate from whatever our gift is. And that is, Creator says, the divine, I lost the word for a second. The prime directive, just like Star Trek, right? The prime directive is, come here, soul, have an expansive life experience, have fun, expanding your consciousness, do what feeds your soul. That's your purpose. Have fun, do what feeds your soul, expand your consciousness. That's at the root of everything you do as a light worker, as an awakened soul. If you do those things, you're golden. Now, when you learn about your gift, it informs upon the kinds of things that you might be led to, that you have characteristics that would make those easier or more enjoyable for you. But a lot of people figure it out themselves just because they do what feeds their soul, what feels good. So you can kind of figure it out. I've read for people who already knew before I told them. They just intuitively felt it because it felt good and they did it. But a lot of people are not in touch enough with their feelings to even know what feels good. They don't know what their purpose is. They feel so lost. And those are the ones who really need to come and get their reading so they can understand that. But, that's kind of the overall about that. Let's see if there's anything else I can help you with here. So is there any message that you want to share with Phoenix Rising? Let's see if we can get that. So for Phoenix Rising, what message? Beloved child, you are incredibly loved. You are so special. We are delighted that you're here, that you're stepping into your purpose as a light worker, that you are ready. to step things up. And it's coming. So now is the time to be ready. Lean into it. Know that more will be expected of you. Be mindful. Watch for the breadcrumbs. When you see them, this is crucial, when you see them, if you're doubting, if you're thinking it's ego, your discernment kicks in and you evaluate what you got from the breadcrumb. Is it something that's uplifting, that's helping you to move forward? If it is, it's from your guides. Take it and run with it. If it's something that brings you down, that's scornful, that's your ego. That's how you know the difference. When it's that, you can just let it go. Ego has its opinions, but you don't have to abide by them. What else? Yeah, that's a good start, they're saying. So take that, run with it, flow with it, see how it feels. And we'll be here next month. So, come back, let us know how it's doing. T-Barb, you're a new healer. You're astounded, working on someone who's been sick for a long time, wondering if it's their mindset that's blocking because it works on everybody else. Yeah, well, the thing is, they can choose not to accept it. And even if they think they're accepting it, sometimes they're still blocking. So for T-Barb, is she on the right track with her healing work? Very much so. Yeah. So when you hit one like that, T-Barb, it's their resistance. You're not doing anything wrong because you are there giving freely from your love, from your heart, from your gift. They're just choosing not to accept it fully. And when that happens, it's really hard because your heart just so wants to help them. You want to heal the world. That's just how you're wired. But not everybody is ready for that, and they get to choose. So when you encounter that, just let it go. If you can disentangle, it's not your responsibility. You can't force it on them. They have to accept it. But here's the thing to take with you. Know that you have planted seeds. You have left that healing in place. They can choose to pick it up and accept it at a later date. So you've done your work. Go in peace. Move on from that. Don't let it drag you down, because there are so many out there who are waiting, ready to accept your healing gift and use it. So you don't want to get taken off your path, get bogged down by those who are not accepting. It's like if you listen to I think it was the July forecast from Metatron. Yeah, it was, where he talked about the wet noodles, where they're light workers, they're ready to go, but somewhere along the way, they lost their nerve, they lost their determination, their courage, something, and they're not ready to step up. So they're like a wet noodle handshake. Let them go. Let them step back behind the front line of light workers. They'll still be back there. We're not letting them go. They're still around. It's just that they can't be on the front lines if they're going to be wet noodles, because they would weaken the front lines. So we let them go. We let them step back until or if they're ready to step forward with us. I hope that makes sense and helps. Colleen, would the DNA that Harry's mom and I share be coming from the same star system? That's a great question. So Colleen and Harry's mom, are they from the same planet or star system? Yeah, there you go. There you go. I think it's more than that, though. I think you've got soul DNA, where there's lineage connecting you, that you just never were in the same lifetime at the same time, but there's that lineage. Because we have soul DNA in addition to our physical DNA, right? The physical DNA is one thing from Earth, but we have soul DNA too. And that's a different connection and a different level, if that makes sense. Warrior girl, it could be their karma from what you understand. Yeah, could be. Yeah, we all have karma to work out, and we get to decide whether we do that or not. It's going to keep showing up until we deal with it. Those things, that repeating patterns that show up in your life like a broken record, they just keep happening. And you're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that again? That's karma. That's a trauma from past life or lives, probably many, that needs to be cleared. And that's what we do in the karmic blocks reading. We go in to find out what those things are, and then we do a clearing to get rid of them so that you can move past them. Because the thing is, you could go to therapy for years trying to figure out what is this problem I have and how to fix it. But if it's a karmic thing, past life, probably no therapist in the world is going to help you find it. You might, through your own spiritual work, get it. You could get a download. It happens. But, barring that, the way to get it is to go to your Akashic records, ask about these past life traumas, find out what they are, and then release them. So that's how you get rid of those. Hey, Mark, glad you're here. I assume you mean Janny's with you since you say, sorry, we're late. Jermaine, can I ask about the floods in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia? Months of heavy rain and flooding in 2022. Is there anything we can assist the purge of the earth? Okay, so for Jermaine, can you tell her anything about the floods in Australia? You could send love to Gaia. That's all you can really do, Jermaine, because this is part of Gaia's ascension as she's shifting into fourth dimension as well. Some things just have to happen. It's not like she's doing them deliberately to hurt people, right? It's part of her healing and ascension process. So, it's a side effect kind of. But here's the thing. If you weren't supposed to be in the line of that, you wouldn't be there. Your guides would have gotten you out of there. So that's where the faith and trust comes in, that no matter what these dramatic events are that are happening on Earth, unless you were ready to exit your body, you're not going to be there to get taken out by them. Your guides are going to get you out of there. They're going to let you know. In some way, they're going to facilitate so that you don't go there, because your soul's not leaving your body till it's ready. And then, for those who are ready, it's just we release them with love because it's their time. They chose that. And they get to do that. We don't get to do that. So there's going to be a lot of devastation. Metatron said in the July forecast that it's going to be more than 1 million. What I didn't tell you is I said, okay, so more than 1 million, more than 2 million? He said, no, it's somewhere between 1 and 2, but it's probably going to be closer to 2. So a lot of souls are still planning to exit before we shift into fourth dimension. So that's a lot of devastation coming at us. Now, it's not going to be all in 2022. It's going to be spread over. Will it be all between 2022 and 2028? Because he mentioned 2028 in a previous reading. Maybe. There's, timing is kind of fungible there, right? Because it depends on certain events coming together. But 2028 was one of those markers that we were given to look towards, that there's going to be a massive change by that date. It might not be complete, but it would be a massive shift by then. We might be still in the midst of it, but a lot of it will have happened by that point. So if you didn't get those messages, go back and listen to Metatron's monthly forecast. I think that was a combination of June and July where that came through, but it's some deep stuff. And you'll notice that the tone Metatron is speaking is a little sterner, because it's like, hey, we've been coddling you and giving you all this love and support. Come on, baby, bringing you along up until now, but things are heating up. And it's time for you to step up to a higher level of responsibility, or you're going to get swept away. So that's why the change in tone from Metatron. It's time to step it up now. And it's still given with all the love in, the universe that's possible. Much love and support. But it's like, come on, step it up a bit now. We need to really get things moving. Steph, is there a message for you? You feel scattered, but flashes show you happy, but it doesn't stay. You struggle with trust. Yeah, most of us struggle with trust. That's pretty normal. So any of the team out there have a message for Steph to help her with confidence and trust. Stay the course. Stay the course. You're doing fine. Just keep going. Know that there will be bobbles. I'm seeing you walking on a balance beam, Steph. So it's very normal. You're walking the balance beam. You're doing these movements, and sometimes you get a little bit off kilter. So what they're saying is that as soon as you notice you're starting to lean, fix it. Don't wait until you fall off the balance beam. So be more present in the moment. Make those tiny little corrections sooner, like driving a car, right? You make those tiny little corrections along the way. You don't wait until you have to go to get yourself back on course, right? Because that could be a disaster. So be mindful in the moment, watching for the breadcrumbs, taking action sooner. And as soon as you notice you're feeling off kilter, do something about it. Make a new choice, get moving, shift the energy. That's generally what it's going to take to help you get back on track. You want to stay as much as you can balanced on that beam. Keep moving forwards. That's the other thing. Don't stop. Keep moving forwards. Got to keep that energy flowing. That's the most important thing right now. Anne says, fine and thank you. Okay, great. Glad to hear that. Warrior Girl says, set your pendulum on a windowsill for the full moon to charge it with the moon's rays. Yeah, a lot of people do that. Just, by the by, I never do that. I don't feel I need to. So the interesting thing about so many of these rules out there is I encourage you to all ask yourself, is that true for me? If it's true for you, do it by all means. If you feel you need to do it, then do it. But for others who don't, and they just kind of go through the motions because somebody else told them they had to, if you feel that, honor that, because you might find something else is true for you. You need to shift what you're doing. So there's been a lot of rules that I've just tossed out because I followed them in the beginning and I found that they really didn't feel right to me. Something just felt a little off. And when I let them go, I found they weren't true for me. So because we're all wired differently, the things that will resonate, the rules that we need to follow are going to be different person to person. And it's really important for us to understand, honor that and flow with it, because that's the sensibility that we're all bringing to the grand tapestry, right? We need all of these aspects. We don't all want to be clones of one another. So really lean into that uniqueness that is you as a soul. Part of that is exploring what's true for you and what's not, because society tells you a whole lot of stuff that's not true for you. It's time to rise above that, find out what is your truth, and then walk that truth. That will help you to be more empowered. It will help with your clarity, with your vision. So it's all systems go when you get into the flow of that. What is true for me? So Janny is there sewing a jumper for your granddaughter. Oh, that's awesome. Is it pink? Mary says, yes, hold it lightly. So you're talking about the pendulum, I'm assuming. Warrior Girl, beautiful. Yeah. You're talking about the jumper. Okay. Mary, you asked to show yes and no, and it didn't move. Okay. Well, then you can hit it with your hand and start it moving. Or, you can just wiggle it with your hand and start it moving. See what happens when you start it moving, because sometimes you need to do that. It's a thing about the energy. The more you use it, the more it becomes your partner, right? You develop a partnership with your pendulum after a while. Your energies mesh. And maybe putting it out in the full moon will help you do that. I don't know. Try it and see. So it's a matter of that, but it's just let it start moving. Help it if it's not, because there's probably something in the rigidness, and the thing is, here you are, you're holding it. And if you're worried about what do I do with my elbow, just let your elbow kind of hang. You don't want to you wouldn't put it on a desk and douse, for instance, because that's blocking the energy, right? So I'm holding it higher than I normally would, just so you guys can see it, because normally, I've got it down here and you can't see it. So you hold it where it feels comfortable, help it to move. And if it's not moving, just maybe try a different pendulum. It could be there's something about that one that's a mismatch for you, at least right now. But once you get adept at this, you can pick up any object and use it as a pendulum, anything that, has that movement. I've used car keys before, if that's what I had handy, right? So, and you can use your body, you can do this kind of body dowsing where you say, and you've seen Cash Peters do it if you watch Cash. So this is applied kinesiology. So for me, if it's a yes, it holds firm. If it's a no, it breaks. And when you do that, the trick about it is you're not holding it super, super tight and bearing down. It's just there. And it's going to be a very light. If it's a no, it's just going to break. If it's a yes, it's just going to hold firmer. It's the same thing as doing the arm trick, where they hold the arm out and they push on the arm to see if it's strong or if it's weak for yes and no. All those things are related. You can even blink. You can blink douse. You can ask your body to blink once for yes and twice for no, or don't blink at all if it's maybe. People use their eyes that way. It's amazing what you can do. All kinds of stuff. You can use your fingers like this for yes and no. If you hold strong, just like your shoulder, right? Your arm. Yes, hold strong. No, goes down. So many options out there for you to try. And I encourage you to experiment with all of them, because That will help you find the thing that really clicks for you. It should be easy. It should be flow. That's what you're always looking for. Let me grab a quick drink here, you guys. Getting a little dry. So Mary, you were saying you hold it lightly. Yeah, I hold it so lightly that sometimes I drop it. So yeah, it really is that light. You know, some people think you're really gripping onto it, and you don't want to do that because you don't want to interfere with the flow of the energy. And, you know, try different, you can use a chain, you can use a string, you can do different things. Because sometimes I find that the chain interferes, but I've just gotten used to this one because I like this particular one. It's the way it's weighted, feels very comfortable. I've got some others I use that are lighter and they don't feel as substantial. So this tends to be my go-to, but I do have some special ones I pull out for various occasions. Once in a while, it's nice to mix it up a little bit. Mark, your granddaughter is near to walking and a tornado of energetic curiosity. That's so beautiful. Yeah, what a beautiful age and experience. Stacy, any messages for you from Merlin? From Merlin, okay. So does Merlin have a message for Stacy? Yes. So what is it? Being silly, singing a song to you. Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face. Spread sunshine all over the world. So for you, Stacy, Merlin is urging you to get out there and be a light, bright sprite, spread sunshine all over the world. And in the doing of that, it will lift you up. I can feel your heart chakra expanding as you do that. You're letting your love and light just flow ahead of you to pave the way. It's a beautiful vision. Yeah, so that's what Merlin says. Janny, you had to change pendulums. You're using a locket that belonged to your great grandmother. And so yours might not be right for you. Yeah, absolutely. Just experiment. See what you find. If you've got, you know, necklaces that feel good in your hand, use those. Sometimes I'll do that. I've got some pendant necklaces that I'll pull out. You know, I've taught classes where I just took a handful of pendants with me in case the students showed up and didn't have a pendulum with them. And they all work equally well. It's up here, right? It's your attitude and belief. So just flow with it. Go into it with the idea that you absolutely can do this. You've probably done it before in past lifetimes because you're a light worker. Just know it's there. Tap into that feeling, that knowingness that it's there for you to use. It's just a tool. If you can think of it as a tool and nothing more, you'll be fine. Healing with Lisa, thank you. You're in the process of moving. Ah, okay, cool. Mary says, thank you. You've got a tiger's eye and another one that you found that you've been trying, so you might have to try something else. Yeah, you might go, if you're really into stones, gems, whatever, you might go and find one just really resonates with you and get it mounted. Make it, into a pendulum. So many ways to go about that. But really tune into your intuition. Look for one that you just feel something with it. That'll help a lot if you feel that connection with it. Because like I said, mine feels like an extension of my arm after all this time. It's just there. I don't even hardly notice it when I'm doing the channeling. But somehow it's grounding for me. That's what it is. Yeah. Felicity, hi. Are there any significant turbulent events likely to unfold in New Zealand this month? Okay. So, any significant turbulent events in New Zealand in the month of July? Yes. Are they water related? Yes. More floods than they're already getting? Yes. Different areas than have gotten it previously? Yes. So it's going to expand. Yeah. High ground. I'm seeing you going to high ground, Felicity, as much as you can. Have your ducks in a row. Be ready to evacuate just in case it comes to that. So are you saying where Felicity lives, she might need to evacuate? Yes. So have your ducks in a row. Let me know if that helps or if you want to probe further into that, because I'm not sure where to take it from there. So I see we have an interesting troll here, but troll, you should know that on this channel, we ignore them. So we're ignoring you. Jen, any messages for you? You're new. Well, welcome. Glad to have you with us. So anything you want to share with Jen today? It's uncertain, Jen. So are you uncertain? Are you feeling uncertain in your life? Because that's what I'm feeling. So it's like there's no clear path because you haven't made a choice yet. So it's like you're standing there, you're looking all around in all directions, and you just don't know which way to go. When that happens, go to your solar plexus, feel your way, go through the directions of the compass, feel each direction of the choices that are laid out for you. Whichever one feels the very best, go do that sooner than later. Fast action. Because when you're stuck in that energy of not knowing which way to go, everything shuts down. Your manifestations shut down. Dissonance shows up, sparks, things go wrong in your life. It gets harder. So you want to get out of that as quickly as possible. And the way to do that is fast action. So just spend a little time feeling. If you can't make a decision, flip a coin and go. You've just got to get going. Then if what you're doing isn't working for you, don't keep doing it. Let go of it sooner than later. Make a new choice. Keep doing that until you find one that you're in the flow with. That's how you do that. So whatever that uncertainty is that's around you, it's a matter of, parting the tall grass, moving forward in one direction or another. And, you could even use a pendulum. You could say, pendulum, is it an optimal choice for me to go north? Let's just see what happens, right? For Jen, is it an optimal choice to go north? No, north is not the way. What about south? No. What about east? Yep. So if you were looking for something like that, east would be a good way for you to go, or whatever east represents to you. So let me know if that helps. Ella, any kind of message for Ella? Ella. I'm seeing darkness for some reason, Ella. Confusion, maybe? That's what it feels like, confusion. Not knowing. A little bit like Jen, not knowing which way to go. Kind of sitting on the sidelines, watching life go by, not participating. That's the energy I'm feeling. I don't know if that's what you're feeling, but you let me know, because that's what I'm feeling. So it's like you got to get involved. Pick a side. Get up and get going. You can't sit there and watch, or you will get swept away by the cosmic wave of transformation. And you see the pendulum took off with a big yes. So let me know if that makes sense to you, Ella, and hopefully it helps. A message for Mary. You guys, I'm breaking my own rules because technically I shouldn't be doing all these messages for people because it's not a metaphysical question, but I can break the rules. It's my channel, right? So I just feel like doing it tonight, and that's what we're doing. All right, so where do we go? Mary. All right, any message for Mary? Anything you want to share with Mary? I'm seeing daffodils, Mary. I don't know if those mean anything to you. Yellow daffodils. Oh, and they're also, the paper whites. They're beautiful. Oh, I could smell them. Oh, they're so beautiful. So I don't know if daffodils have a significance for you. You might want to look up the symbolism of that particular flower. You could look up the color, see if there's symbolism of the color that resonates for you. So is there anything about the the daffodils just, they're representing this very light, loving, renewal energy. So spring, right? That's what we associate daffodils with. So are you in a time of your life where you're starting a new chapter? Is that what it's about maybe? Because it's like new beginnings. It's kind of what I'm feeling. Turn the page, let go of the old stuff, turn the page, like spring cleaning, get rid of that stuff, move forward in a new direction with faith, confidence, and trust, with a big smile on your face. Gray skies are going to clear up. Put on a happy face. Getting that for you too. Yeah. Okay. So let me know if that helps, Mary. T-Barb says, thank you. You've healed my breaking heart about the healing not working. I was distressed, doubting. Oh, I know. It happens to all of us, T-Barb, because we think we're doing something wrong. But no, when you come forward to do your healing with a pure heart, with love, it's never wrong. even if you aren't doing it perfectly, your guides are going to help you. They're going to adjust it. Like, let's say we're shooting laser guns, right? And it's something you're doing with love. It's something that's for healing, and your aim is a little bit off. Your guides can step in and help you with that and fix it. So it's not all on you. When you're there with that pure heart, with that love and intention, it's going to carry through. But you can't make the other person accept it, never. And that is heartbreaking. So let that go, because you don't want that negative energy either. So it's a matter of disconnecting from the results. Always, for healers, you want to disconnect from the results, because you don't want to be pulled down off of your path by that feeling that you lack something. You don't. You've got it all. You're bringing it. There's nothing more that you need do. You've done it all. So love and blessings to you. And keep doing it with the ones who are ready to accept it. That's the way to go. It just jumped on me. Hang on. Oh, so Warrior Girl, you sent healing to somebody who fell and had a concussion and didn't want it. And so when he got to the doctor's office, they were freaking out because he was totally healed. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, he didn't, well, it's not that he didn't want it, but he didn't call and ask for it. So yeah, that's an important point, Warrior Girl. So when you send healing, love, and intention, it's okay to send it, because they can always say no. You're not forcing it on anybody. So if you feel led to do it, you can do it. They can block it and say no. They have that choice. So you're not forcing anything on anybody. And apparently he was willing to receive it because he healed. So that's beautiful. And that's a really important distinction to share with other healers that you know, because so many of them run into that. I can't tell you how many people have said to me, but don't I need permission? Well, if it's sent with love and good intentions, no, send it. It's okay. They can choose to say, no, thank you, anytime they want. You're not forcing it. Warrior Girl, you're a rebel without a cause. Don't follow rules, question authority. Strong sense of right and wrong. That's beautiful. Some of us are wired to be that way, rule breakers. And if that's how you're wired, honor that, go with it. There's a reason for it. It's not random. It's there for a very specific reason, because, you know, if everybody on this planet followed all the rules, we wouldn't have new inventions. We wouldn't have these breakthroughs and new understandings. We need that. We need the rule breakers. Very important. Janny says the jumper is blue with a center panel that's yellow and blue. Oh, that's beautiful. Floral print on ivory. Ah, you'll have to send a picture of that, Janny. I look forward to seeing it. It sounds gorgeous. Phoenix Rising, thank you. You felt the message in your heart. You're going to get the book and follow the breadcrumbs. Much love. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I think that the book will really help you, because, you know, it came straight from Metatron, and all of that love and intention is there. When you get the book, there is a link in the book to join the Facebook group. A number of people here in chat tonight are in that Facebook group. So that's where people share their experiences. They ask their questions. They get support. If you want to progress faster, jump into the group. Let them help you, because it's all there for you. There's also, there's a workbook, which you can get those messages if you go searching through the archives of the Facebook group, because that's where they came from. There was a new message every single day of the 21 days that's not in the original book. It was a message that came for the first group of people that went through this 21-day challenge. So those messages then got put into the workbook that goes with the book, so that everybody can access it, whether, you know, you're in the group or not. So that's there for you. And then there's actually a third book that you get a free link to that has more messages that came after the 21 days, because every week for a while afterwards, we got more messages. So it's like Metatron got us started and then gave us more, and all this support every day of that 21 days. It was really an out-of-body experience. It was just so phenomenal. People were all of a sudden channeling who'd never channeled before, and who started out saying, I can't, I'm blocked. But Metatron crafted this process so brilliantly, so perfectly, that almost everybody that I know of that's gone through it has benefited, opened their channel, started getting those messages. So yeah, and we need that right now. The timing is perfect for what we're going through. So more people on board getting up to speed faster is going to help all of us. So welcome. Let's see where we at. Healing with Lisa, does Merlin have a message? I think I already answered that one. But if it's a different person, can you write it again down below? Because I think I answered that one. And you're not sure about doing pranic healing as it will take time. Any advice about it? For Anne, would it be an optimal choice for her to do pranic healing? If you feel led, do it. I get a big yes. Yeah. And if you've been on any of the calls where my friend Mike is, who does pranic healing, you can reach out to Mike and he will support you, because he's got all these freebies that he shares through his website. He does regular gatherings and just this heart of service to share with the world. So yeah, Mike is on the third Saturday Zoom calls that we do. If you want to join those third Saturday Zoom calls, you need to be on my mailing list. So let me just give you the link right now. Hang on a sec while I type this, because it's hard for me to type and talk. There you go. So it's akashaunleashed.com/VIP. If you sign up for that list, you will get the email with the link to the Zoom call. We meet every third Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are there for about 90 minutes, and that's where I do the personal questions. So bring those personal questions. We'll go through them. On the Zoom, it's a different energy because I can see you. So I'm able to go deeper, and it's really a phenomenal experience. You can find the replays from past months on my YouTube channel, and that's something I've been doing for a few years now. So it's every month, third Saturday, and that's going to be coming up pretty soon. So yeah, that would be a great place to do that. And Mike is usually there. So if he's there, I'll connect the two of you. That's for Anne. So Warrior Girl, on the last Zoom, you asked for a message from Spirit, and it was breathe. You totaled your car days later, and it's truly been helping the breathing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Because you didn't say anything about you. You just talked about the car. Wow. Well, I'm glad the breathing helped. So yeah, sorry to hear that. Okay, I'm going to breathe. Jen says, thank you. Which service do you recommend to support the healing process? It really depends on you, Jen. You can go to my website and just look and see what's there. Come to the third Saturday. We can talk about it more there, because I'm not remembering now what your question was. So I can see you on the Zoom. You can remind me live. That's the frustrating thing about these YouTube lives, is that I can't get your immediate response to respond back to you. But we do the best we can. And I like to do both formats just because I can reach more people. And this for me is my mission, getting Metatron's message out to more people. So whether it's on YouTube, whether it's through the Zoom, the website, what have you, Medium, I'm writing stuff on Medium. So pretty much now all of the videos that I make, I also put the script of the video on Medium so people can read it, because a lot of those messages are really deep. And being able to read them helps you to get the deeper message, the symbolism that you might have missed if you just listened to it. So I'm doing it both ways to, again, reach more people. So if you guys would share this out, hit the thumbs up button, that'll help more people see it. We got to get this out there to people, because the more light workers that get on board with us, the faster we're going to get there. We're just kind of in this holding pattern right now because all these heavy energies are swirling. So more of us coming forward with our love and light is going to break through that faster. That's what we're all looking for. Let's get the bad stuff over with as quick as possible. There are a number of readings on my website, akashaunleashed.com/readings, Jen. So if any of that resonates with you, you can shoot me a mail with questions, or like I said, just come to the third Saturday and we can talk about it there. KT, you experienced a lot of back pain during a positive shift during June. It purged a lot of negativity. Why does this happen? Any guidance? Yeah, so KT, what that is about is the ascension process. Your DNA is being recalibrated. Your energy is shifting in the body you're occupying, and that's darned uncomfortable. People are experiencing a lot of physical symptoms as they go through this. Some of it might be reminiscent of growing pains, because it's kind of growing pains, right? So yeah, those things happen. As long as you've made sure that it's not a third dimensional physical thing that needs attention, then it's probably the ascension process. So you flow with it the best you can. Use remedies if you need to help you get comfort through it. But just know it's not going to last. It comes in surges. You'll get it pretty intense for a while. Then it will back off to let you adjust to that new frequency. Then it'll come again. So it's periodically going to come in those surges until you get to that higher level of frequency so that you can shift into fourth dimension. It's not easy going from one dimension to another for these bodies because they were calibrated and made for third dimension. Mary says, thank you. You're welcome. Harry's mom, thank you. It's been a great help. Good night to everybody. Good night, Harry's mom. Thanks for being here. Always happy to see you. Steph says that feels right and you know it. Awesome. Yeah. When you know it, just flow with it, right? Linda, hey, glad you could join us. Is there a message for Linda? What would you like to share with Linda? I'm hearing buzzing like bees, buzzing all around you. And bees are fertility, aren't they, Linda? So this is about fertility for you from a spiritual perspective. Does that make sense to you? That's kind of wild and wacky, right? So there's something for you that your soul is yearning to expand into. You've been holding back. It's like you're tiptoeing around the fringes, but you've been afraid to commit. The buzzing of the bees, they're encouraging you, urging you to move forward, Linda. Don't be afraid. Your angels have got you. Trust it, flow with it, step into it. Because it's like now is the time to stop holding back, playing small. Your soul is so ready to soar. So, yeah, that's quite beautiful. I'm excited to hear about that for you. Steph, the balance beam helps. Great. Awesome. Lisa, can you get a link to my book? Okay, let me see if I have one handy that I don't have to go too far for. I might have one. Don't see one there. Okay, hang with me for just a second. I'll grab one and post it for you. Okay, here we go. This will show you all three of the books so you can browse through. And the 21-day meditation, it's called The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides. That's the one I was talking about that Metatron brought forth to help you to connect with your angels and guides, just as the title says. Healing with Lisa. Somebody else asked for a message from Merlin, which prompted you to ask. Okay, cool. So are you guys both like connected with Merlin? Is that why you're curious? Because it's an odd one. I don't get that very often. So for Lisa, is there a message from Merlin? Merlin, you're popular tonight. Message for Lisa. I'm seeing this very smooth surface, like a sandy beach, but it's almost like glass. It's so smooth. So what is that about? The way is clear. The obstacles have been removed for you, Lisa, so don't hold back. And it's like you can ice skate on this if you want. It's so smooth. Just get out there and flow around it with joy in your heart. Your arms are lifted up. I'm seeing you just skating with this joy. You're singing. You're just gliding along this beautiful surface and sparkling. It's just the most idyllic scene you can imagine. I don't even know how to describe it any better than that. But it's the feeling that it brings that's important for you to get, Lisa. that feeling of being in the flow with so much ease that nothing is in your way. It's all cleared for you. Your guides and angels have cleared the path. I've talked in previous sessions about how the angels do like curling, that sport of curling where you've got a team out in front of you. You're pushing that puck on the ice and the team's in front of you brushing and grooming the ice so the puck will go further. So your angels and guides are constantly out in front of you, curling. They're grooming your path, clearing the way so that it's ready for you to flow, if that makes sense. And they're just reinforcing that in a really big way for you. So your curling angels are out there doing the job. They just want you to come and accept that gift that they've given you, flow into it, expand into it. There's more waiting for you. It's very exciting. Felicity, can you tell me anything more about the upcoming water event? Is it a storm? Okay, let's ask that. For Felicity, is the water event, is it a storm? So is it like a hurricane? Not a hurricane. Okay, so what could it be? It's flooding? It's just flooding from the rains? Oh, I'm seeing all this water just pouring down, Felicity, and it's like the land is a sponge, but the sponge is filled to overflowing. It can't accept anymore, and so that water is just going everywhere. It's expanding out. So it's water going willy-nilly wherever it finds egress, I think is the word. Wherever it finds a place it can go to anyway, and it's just pouring in more and more and more because the land is already so soaked. It can't take anymore. But yet the rains keep coming. So are you saying the month of July is going to have way more rain? Okay. Let's try and ask about inches, Felicity. Maybe that's helpful. I don't know. It's just the thing that comes to me. So are you saying it's going to be like double-digit inches for the rest? Double-digit. Okay. Triple-digit inches? Not triple. Okay. So more than 50 inches? No, less than 50 inches. More than 20 inches. More than 30 inches? Okay, 25? More than 25? All right, so like 26, 7. Okay, so like 27 inches more of rain. So I don't know, how that jives with where you're at, Felicity, but that's a lot of water for a short period of time. Oh, let me ask that. In what period of time is that rain going to come? Is it going to come over the rest of the month? So it's not going to come in one day. No. Okay. So in the next couple of weeks and somewhere around 27 inches, because when you douse for numbers like that, it's an approximation. So it's going to be a lot, in other words, and it is going to cause the water to rise everywhere because it's got to go somewhere. So if you're at all in the line of that, just keep an eye on it. If it starts looking like it's getting too uncomfortably close to you, then get out of there. Don't wait until too late when you're going to float on your car or the roof of your house. You want to get out before you have to be rescued. That's just feeling very heavy right now, Felicity. So please take extra care. Anything else you can share with her about preparing for this? Let me ask this. Are you saying that Felicity's house is highly likely to be flooded? No. Okay. So not your house, but close to her house? Is it going to be more than a mile from her house, the flooding? Yeah, more than a mile. But what I'm seeing, Felicity, is it's like it's going to block you in. So you don't want to be there if you don't have services, right? So you want to be in a place where you can escape. So if it looks like it's coming in and it's going to block the road so that you couldn't get out, you'd be trapped there. Even though the water's not coming to your door, you could be trapped there. That's what you want to watch for. So it's more expansive than coming to your door, which is good news, right? Because your place will be safe, but be sure that you can get out. Don't wait until all the roads and exits are blocked. So let me know if that helps. And I'm sorry, I don't like delivering news like that, but that's what I'm getting. Warrior Girl, nobody was hurt in your accident. Oh, so glad to hear that. Are you sure you didn't get any wrenches in your body or anything like that? You're totally fine? Jen, no worries, you'll be there. Awesome. So I'll see you on the 3rd Saturday. Linda, yes, you feel like you're stuck. Okay. So Linda, did you hear the answer earlier or if you didn't, you can go back and listen, about when you're in that place of being stuck and not knowing which way to go. It's like you feel your way through. Just try the directions on the compass, north, south, east, or west, which is the best way to go. And that's metaphorical rather than literal, although sometimes it is literal. But take the options that you have, put them on the compass, right? And then just feel through your body which one feels the best. You can douse if you want, or bring it to the third Saturday if you need specific dowsing on that, Linda. If you've got options but you don't know which one, I can ask that for you on the third Saturday. It's harder to do that in this format because we can't communicate fluidly. But yeah, you don't want to be stuck. So do something between now and then, Linda. Make a choice, take some kind of new action. Don't stay where you are, because between now and then, just you taking that action might open things up enough that you'll get clarity. You'll be in a whole different place. It's just having the courage, making a choice, taking that action, and then assessing what shifted energetically around you so that you know what to do next. That's what's missing for you. So look for that. Take that action. And I'm rooting for you. I want to hear about your progress when I talk to you. You got the link? Thank you, Lisa. Oh, you are so welcome. Stacy, does this mean that Lisa and I had past lives with Merlin? Okay, Stacy and Lisa, did they have past lives with Merlin? No. Did either one of them have a past life with Merlin? Yes. So did Stacy have a past life with Merlin? Yes. Did Lisa have a past life with Merlin? No. So Stacy, you did. Yeah. Some people are just drawn to certain energies. Maybe it's, a fascination with the story. It could be her guide is named Merlin. And when she says Merlin, she's not referring to the same Merlin that you are, or vice versa. So there's a lot I don't know because in this, as I said, this limited format, we can't communicate as well. And I see our trolls, they're having fun. So knock yourself out, honey. You're in the wrong place and we are ignoring you. So. Lisa says, thank you so much. You have a connection to Merlin. That is so cool. Warrior Girl, all the Druid high priests were Merlins. Oh, that is cool. I didn't know anything about that. Interesting. And you know that because it came through during an Akashic consult. Fascinating. So that's interesting. So for Stacy and Lisa, you might want to do a little research into that and learn more about it if you feel drawn to it. Is that the Merlin you're feeling, or is it another one? Because when I hear Merlin, I think, of course, the Knights of the Round Table, Merlin, the magician. Okay, you guys, I'm at the end of the chat and we're at 8:30. So I can go until 9 if that's all the questions, or we can wrap now. So let me know what works for you. Looks like we have 17 people here now. Awesome. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up, please do that before you leave. I'd really appreciate it. And also, if you can share this replay once it's posted, share it, get people to come and listen. They might get the answer that they've been looking for. And what it will do is YouTube will share it with more people so that these messages will get out. Because we got to step this up, you guys, if we want to make progress sooner and get out of this muck that we're in right now. It's going to take all of us. I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. It's all of us together, bringing that intention, that energy, taking action. All of us have to take more action now. That's what they're talking about over and over. Step it up. You can't just sit back and wait for it to come to you anymore. It's taking assertive action, moving forward in the way that you feel led, doing what you can in the moment. And when you do that, you will be so rewarded. You will feel so wonderful and you will help others. And when you lift others up, you feel better. So it's that beautiful boomerang that happens when you do good deeds. Laura says, thank you. Great questions. You learned a lot. You're so welcome. Do you have any questions, Laura? Pop them in there if you do. Warrior Girl says they considered themselves one. And is there a message from Merlin for everybody? Well, let's just ask. That's a great question. So Merlin, do you have a message for everybody? General message. Love and light to all. Love and light to all. Don't take things so seriously. Have fun. Yeah, step up to your responsibility, but do it with fun. Don't leave the fun out. Get out there, dance and sing. Be silly now and then. You're too serious. That energy, when you get out there singing and dancing, doing silly things, don't worry that you might look silly. It doesn't matter. It's about your soul. It's about feeding your soul, lifting you up. That helps everybody because then it becomes contagious. You'll get more people doing it. And this energy right now on your planet needs to be lightened up, lifted up. So more of that. Get out there and play. Have a good time. Yeah. Thank you, Merlin. That's really sage advice. T-Barb, can you ask Metatron how far we are from getting the number of light workers we need? Okay, so Metatron, can you give us any idea how close we are or far we are from getting the tipping point of light workers? Is it 2028? Are we on course for that? Yeah, right now, T-Barb, it's still looking like it's a good chance that we will be there by 2028. Is that when we actually will tip, or is that when it will just begin to tip? Is that when it tips? That's when it begins to tip. The tipping process is going to be somewhat protracted. It's not going to be an instantaneous thing, because like our DNA being shifted, there's a process that we have to go through. But it's feeling like because we're all coming forward, we're bringing the energy. We are still pretty close to the course of 2028. So it's a long way away in one aspect, and it's just around the corner in another because we've got a lot of work to do. Warrior Girl, thank you for the message. This is always enlightening. You're so welcome. Oh, so, before we go, just Laura reminded me there's one thing I want to tell you about, because if you're not on my mailing list, you won't know about this. And it's something pretty big. So when I do soul introduction readings, I go in and I share with you your gift, your soul specialty, and your planet of origination, which is your soul tribe. So that's the three aspects of yourself, plus your gender, because your soul can be a different gender from your body. And if it's a different gender, you want to know that because you've probably felt it intuitively, but you didn't understand it. So it's incredibly helpful to know that. So that's what that is, right? So for a long time, and before I go there are 8 different gifts in these readings that I do in this protocol. So some people have 1, some people have a primary and a secondary. Actually, everybody has all 8 gifts. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You have all 8 gifts, but you have a primary, and you may have as well a secondary. So whatever your primary or primary secondary gifts are, those are the ones that inform upon how you be in the world. Those are the characteristics that you bring to the table, just as the characteristics of your soul tribe and your soul specialty further inform upon who you are. So anyway, that aside, talking about the gifts. So for a very long time, I have wanted to get together people who were the same gift so they could share with each other what they've learned about their gift, expand upon the knowledge base that we have, because we all express it differently. I know what I know about it from talking to all these people, which has expanded through the years, but there's more. There's always more, because our journey here is always about expanding further into who we are, becoming more experts on who we are, using it at a deeper level, which of course we need for the 4th dimension, right? So last week, I got together a gift of our group of the sensitive organizers. That's the gift I wanted to start with because they are so energetically sensitive. They're the ones who are often victimized by their gift. So I want to make sure we get them on the right path so that they can learn how to use their superpower of being energetically sensitive for their own empowerment and that of others, rather than being victimized. So we had this gathering on Zoom. Just a few people showed up, but that's okay because there's the replay there for all the other ones who want to see it, who are that same gift. We probably will do a few more gatherings for them so they can keep the dynamic going. They all said, I loved it. I want to do more. I can't do it all for all of them, but I'm going to do as much as I can. So it was a beginning. It was phenomenal. So I am planning to have these gatherings over the coming months for each of the gifts. And if you've got 2, a primary, secondary, you'll get invited to both of those so that you can all connect with each other, See where that goes, but it's lifting everybody up, becoming more of an expert sooner. We need this now. So anyway, it's super exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, how it all comes together. I know they're looking forward to seeing how it comes together. So if you've got any interest in that and you've not had a soul introduction, get one so that I can invite you to one of those gatherings and you can learn more about yourself faster. Because in the past, I would do this reading, people would take the information, some would just kind of throw it away and not even use it, which I can't conceive of because it's like the most important thing you need to know about yourself. But for those who really wanted to lean in and know more, this is how we're going to do it. That's all coming. So you guys can help me figure out how to make it happen faster too. I'm sure you'll have ideas, and I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, that's on the side for you to know about. Let's see if we got anything else here. Hugs back to you, warrior girl. Felicity, you're recovering from COVID. I'm sorry. Can your guides give you any advice about getting your energy back faster ahead of the water event? Okay. So for Felicity, what guidance can you give her about healing faster to get through this? Sunshine right away is coming through, Felicity. Sunshine, fresh air. Get out in it as much as you can. That's rejuvenating. Okay, what else? What else? Okay, I've got some remedies. I can send you links for some homeopathic remedies if you're into that, Felicity, that can help boost you. I need to know a little bit more about what your symptoms are right now to help you get the right remedies, but that would help boost you as well. It would help you heal faster. So if she does these things, is there anything else that she needs to do? Hydration, stay hydrated. That's important. And juice. They're showing me with the sunshine, the orange juice too. So vitamin C, what's that, right? Vitamin C. So vitamin C, whether it's tablet or, you drink the orange juice, that's all good. The sunshine. The remedies are just, the icing on the cake to help you. So hopefully that helps. And okay, if she does all of this, will she heal quickly and be able to deal with the water event? Yes, they got you. I'm seeing you being cradled in the arms of Creator. Got you. All that love pouring out to you. Yeah. What else? There's something else. Ho'oponopono. I don't know if you know how to do that. Ho'oponopono, if you don't know how to do it, it's simply, this is the simple version though. There's a bigger version, but the simple version is to yourself, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Oh, no, it's I love you. Thank you. So I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I developed my own version of that using EFT. So not tapping, you could tap, but just touching the EFT points. So I'm sorry. Third eye, please forgive me. And then throat chakra, I love you. Thank you. Heart chakra. So for me, the plain Ho'oponopono wasn't doing it. And I made a video about this, which you can find on my channel. So I combined the two, and suddenly that had more resonance for me. So try that. If you don't know about Ho'oponopono, Felicity, and anybody who's listening, it's a super healing thing because we're healing ourselves and we actually heal others in the process. So there's a story of this doctor who healed prisoners who were murderers in this prison. They were the ones who would never get released because they were so horrible. He sat in his office and he did Ho'oponopono on himself, and he healed those prisoners so that some of them were able to go home. I mean, that's just out of this world miraculous, right? So Ho'oponopono for you right now, whether you combine it with EFT or you just do it by itself, add EFT separately, whatever you want to do, but those healing modalities would be good for you. And maybe some pranic healing too. Let me check with Mike, Felicity. And yeah, I think that would help you too with this. So we'll do that. Send me an email to remind me though, because sometimes I forget after we do these things because my brain is going in a million directions. Okay. T-Barb, is this the third Saturday thingy? Today, no, this is the this is the first Monday Metaphysical Chat, but I moved it to second Monday because of July 4th. So normally we're first Monday for Metaphysical Chat. And then third Saturday is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think you came when the power went out, T-Barb. You were there. I remember that. The power went out only like an hour into it. And then everybody's sitting there wondering where I went. And my friend Donna, who was on the call, just took everybody forward and did some coaching with them. So I did a second part of that to make up for it the following Saturday. So we have actually 2 of those in June. But normally it's third Saturday, and, you know, Metatron willing, the power will stay on and we'll do our whole thing. So yeah, and you'll get an email for that, T-Barb. I send the link out on the Friday night before, the day before, and then I send another link 1 hour before, so you've got it handy. So watch for that. It'll be coming. And it comes from, it probably will say Akasha Unleashed, or Answers at Akasha Unleashed is, I think, the address it comes from. So look for that as well. Sanchia, super late. Glad you made it. Hi. Glad you made it too. Did I talk about CERN and what's expected? No, nobody asked about CERN. I don't know about CERN, but let's just ask. I know it's extraterrestrial stuff, right? So anything you can share with us about CERN for the group? It's real, believe it. And they are delighted. They're just celebrating that we're finally connecting. And for those who've kept it secret, because it's been known for a long time, they're happy that it's finally coming out. And for all of us, if we feel drawn to it, they're encouraging us to lean into it, get together with groups. There's a group that's gathering in Franklin Grove, Illinois in August, and they will be doing CE5, which is that's the extraterrestrial stuff. Now, I'm not even sure if that's what you're talking about, Sanchia, but if it's not, then we got 2 things going on here. Oh, T-Barb, you're saying the primary gift thing. It was a different thing. I sent out an email to all the people who their gift was sensitive organizer. This would be all the people I've done readings for, so that I knew they were sensitive organizers. I invited all of them, but I wrote about it in an email before that saying I'm going to be doing this, just so you guys know it's coming up, and look for the email. So you might have seen that. And I don't know what your gift is. So, you know, if we can do that before and you want to be involved, that would be wonderful. I'd love it. Yeah, but definitely come on the third Saturday, because we do a lot of really cool stuff there. And there's always these amazing messages that come that just like hit us all in the heart chakra, because they're just so powerful and they resonate with so many people. There's always some of that. And then there's some that's just interesting because it's different, and inspiring because you didn't even think you could do that. So you learn new things about what you can do, because, you know, one of the things that holds us back is we didn't know we could do that. So we didn't do it. But then somebody else asks about it or talks about doing it, and it's like, whoa, if I can do that, then I'm going to do it. So it's inspiration to expand even more, because you have to first be inspired to do it, to even think about it. I hope I'm making sense. It's getting late, so I'm getting a little babbly here. Sanchia, I hope that answered your question about CERN. If not, you can ask me on the third Saturday. Yeah, I was so disappointed because I saw you were there, T-Barb, and I was waiting to get to your question, and then bam, the lights went out and I'm sitting in the dark, and it's like, oh my gosh, I went into panic because I don't have any power. How can I even let you know what happened? That's the most frustrating thing. But thankfully I had 1 bar on my cell phone, so I was able to send a Facebook message to my friend Donna to let her know, so that she could let you guys know, because otherwise there would have been no way to let you know. You would have just thought I ditched you or something. Yeah, so it's just, I'm in this place where occasionally the power goes out if there's a bad storm, because we're on top of a mountain. So the lines are all above ground because they can't put them underground with all the rocks. You start digging here and you just get rocks. You don't get very much dirt. So yeah, unfortunately, the power does go out occasionally. Thankfully, most of the time it stays on. But that was one of those times. Oh, so Sanchia, it's the machine that was turned on by the scientist that's drilling a hole to create a portal related to finding the God particle. You're not sure if you're explaining it well. I did hear something about that. So let me ask now that I understand what you're talking about. So the drilling for the God particle, is there anything you can share with us about that? Is it even a real thing? So the God particle is a real thing. Okay. And what does it mean to us? It means nothing to us, those of us light workers who are already connected, because we know divine is there. We know there's, if you want to call it God particle, we know the consciousness of God, creator, is there. We don't need to be told that. This is for the people who need the proof for whatever reason. They're trying to prove it to themselves. Because I think we're all born with that need to create or to connect with the deity, to know that there's something greater than ourselves. So it's there for all of us. But then sometimes in life, maybe we're taught differently. We're raised without that belief, and things happen where we lose the belief. Who knows? So many things happen. And for those who are the doubters, there's something still inside of them that's eating away at them. It's like, I know there's more, but up here, my ego says there's not more. So they have that conflict, and that's why they're searching for it. So that being said, are they going to find it? No. Because where they're drilling, no, they're not doing it right. They don't have to do it that way. Yeah. They might find something, but they're not going to find God that way. God is in here, not out there where they're drilling. You got to find God inside. Connect with that God within you. That's the problem, Sanchia. I hope that makes sense. Let me know. T-Barb says, Donna did a great job and it was still very enjoyable. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, she told me she's there with you chatting, and you were there for like another 40 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wish I could have been there. That would have been awesome. So what I did, I changed my Zoom settings so that it records to the cloud rather than to my computer. So if that happens again, maybe it'll keep recording even if I get bumped off. I don't know, but it's worth a try. So I made that change just to see what would happen. Yeah, but I'm glad you guys had a good time. Donna is really an awesome person. It sounds right. Okay, cool. Thanks, Sanchia. All right, you guys, well, it's almost 9 o'clock, so I think we're going to shut it down. Thank you all for being here. It was a delight to hang out with you. I love your energy, and I look forward to seeing you again next month on the first Monday for the Metaphysical Chat. Also, hopefully you can join me for the third Saturday. Get that link from the chat. It's akashaunleashed.com/VIP. If you're not already on my list, you should be, so I can send you this information. And I also send you other stuff, because I send a weekly newsletter where I tell you what's going on and give you insights and things that you're not going to get if you're not connected to me through that. It's kind of like a family letter that you send out, your Christmas letter that you do every year, except I send it to my family every week. So you guys get the updates on what's happening. So you get the inside view, and I think it's worth being there, and a lot of other people do too. So hope you join us. Stacy says, thank you. Linda says, thank you. You guys are also welcome always. Look forward to seeing you soon. All right. Much love to everybody. Have a fabulous week. And let's hope we get some good news this week with the January 6th committee. You're welcome, T-Bar. Bye for now. Now I have to, of course, it's going to take me a minute to find the right screen to stop this thing, but okay, I just found it. All right, here we go. I'm hitting the end.